Now we are going to study a very important phenomenon, the Hall effect. So for this case, we will take a metallic strip of conductor as shown in this figure, that we have a metallic strip of a conductor carrying current I in the plus x-axis direction. So as it is shown over here that the current is flowing in this conductor along this direction. And we are considering a conductor means the charge carriers are electrons. So the current is due to the flow of electrons in this case. So if we are supposing that current is flowing in the plus x-axis direction, means along this direction, then electrons are flowing along negative x-axis direction in this conductor. So we consider a metallic strip of conductor carrying current I in x-axis direction. As the current is along plus x-axis direction, so the electrons will flow in minus x-axis direction. So you have a conductor, and in this conductor current is flowing in this x-axis direction and electrons are flowing in the negative x-axis direction. Now what if we apply magnetic field to this conductor? So let's suppose we apply external magnetic field to this strip of the conductor, and the magnetic field is applied in the z-axis direction along the plus z-axis. So the magnetic field which is applied now on this strip is along the plus z-axis direction, means the magnetic field lines, they are coming out of the paper. So the magnetic field is applied to the strip in the z direction. So this magnetic field vector, this can be written as magnitude times its direction. Now the direction is along plus z axis, so it will be k cap. So the magnetic field vector will be given by b k cap. Now the electrons, as we have said, that they are flowing along the negative x-axis direction, so they will have a certain speed. So let's say the drift speed of the electron is given by v. Now as we can see that electrons are moving with a certain speed in this conductor, and that speed is given by v. Now we have applied external magnetic field to this strip. So if a charge is moving under the influence of a magnetic field, if a charge is moving in the magnetic field, we know there is a magnetic force that will act on that charge. So if there is magnetic field and some charge is moving through the magnetic field, there will be a magnetic force acting on that charge, and that magnetic force is given by the magnetic force acting on a charge moving in a magnetic field is given by charge times v cross b vector. So this is the formula of force acting on a charge moving with velocity v in magnetic field b. So the same case will go for the electrons. Now what is the charge on the electron? That is given by minus e. And what is the velocity? As we have said that electrons are moving along negative x-axis direction, so the v vector for the case of electrons will be given by v, which is the magnitude, times direction. Now direction of the electrons in the conductor is along minus x-axis, means it will be minus I cap. Then magnetic field, as we have said, magnetic field has been applied along plus z-axis, so it will be b k cap. And charge is given by minus e. So we will write the formula of force acting on the electron due to the magnetic field. So that will be given by q. Now q is minus e times v vector. So v vector is minus v I cap. Minus v I cap cross product with b vector, and b vector is b k cap. So when you will solve it, you will get e times, so the scalar quantities means E, V and B, they can be taken outside the bracket. So minus into minus will become positive and you will have EVB, and inside the bracket you will have I cross K cap. So the cross product of I cap and K cap is equal to minus J cap. So it will be minus EVB J cap. So you can clearly see that the magnetic force acting on the electrons is along negative y-axis. So the current is flowing along plus x-axis, the magnetic field is applied along plus z-axis. Then the force acting on the electrons will be along negative y-axis. So when these electrons, they are entering the conductor, magnetic force will act on these electrons, and that magnetic force will push these electrons in the downward direction. So this force is acting along negative y-axis, means in the downward direction. So the electrons, when they are entering this conductor, due to the magnetic force, they will be deflected in the downward direction. So this magnetic force will cause the electrons to deflect downwards. And if these electrons which are entering this conductor, if they are deflected downwards, which means that there will be accumulation of negative charges on the lower surface of this strip. So this is a strip of a conductor which we have taken. So this is the lower surface of the strip and this is the upper surface of the strip. So when the electrons, they are entering this conductor, they will get deflected in the downward directions due to the magnetic field, due to the magnetic force. So therefore there will be accumulation of negative charges on the lower surface of the strip. So electrons, they accumulate on the lower surface of the strip. So they will get accumulated on the lower surface, means the lower surface will become negatively charged. And the upper surface, where there is deficiency of electrons, the upper surface will appear positively charged. So due to the excess of electrons in the lower surface, it will be negatively charged, and due to the deficiency of the negative charge, the upper surface will appear positively charged. So the lower surface will appear negatively charged. After some time, there will be accumulation of large number of electrons and the upper surface will appear positively charged due to the deficiency of the electrons. So you can see that when there was no magnetic field, the electrons were moving along negative x-axis direction. So in that case, the two surfaces, upper and the lower surfaces, they were neutral because electrons were flowing in the negative x-axis direction when there was no magnetic field. But as soon as you apply the magnetic field, the electrons get deflected. The electrons which are entering this conductor, they get deflected in the downward direction. So this lower surface appears negatively charged and upper surface appears positively charged. So with time, accumulation of large number of charges get accumulated on the lower surface. So the charges, they increase. The negative and positive charges on the lower and upper surface respectively increase with time. So you can see over here that upper surface is positive and lower surface is negative, means there is a rise of an electric field. So upper surface is positively charged, lower surface is negatively charged, and you already know that if you have positive and negative charge, there is electric field which is set up between the two electrodes. So if this upper surface is positively charged and this one is negatively charged, there is a setup of electric field between these two surfaces, and that electric field will be pointing in the downward direction because the direction of electric field is always from positive towards negative. So in this case, when you have applied external magnetic field, electric field starts appearing between the upper and the lower surface of the strip. So with time, as charges are getting accumulated more negative charges are getting accumulated on the lower surface. So electric field will start increase with time. So with time, electric field will be increasing, and one point will come when electric field will reach its maximum value and there will be no further accumulation of negative charges on the lower surface of this strip. So as we have said that electrons, they accumulate on the lower surface of the strip, and upper surface appears positively charged due to the deficiency of the electron. So this combination of positive and negative charges, on the two strips, on the two surfaces of the strips, set up an electric field in the negative y-axis direction. So the direction of the electric field will be in the downward direction. So after some time, as I have said, the electric field reaches its maximum value. So when you just apply the magnetic field, the charges, they start getting accumulated on the respective surfaces. So electric field will increase with time, but after some point the electric field will reach its maximum value. And this transverse electric field, so the current is flowing in the horizontal direction and electric field is set up perpendicular to the flow of the electrons or flow of the current. So this transverse electric field is known as Hall electric field, and it is denoted by EH vector. So the electric field which gets set up across the two surfaces of the conductor when you apply magnetic field to a current carrying conductor, so this electric field is called as Hall electric field. So now we are going to see that why the electron accumulation at the lower surface stops after a certain amount of time. So electron accumulation at the lower surface will stop after one point, and why does this happen? So as we have said that electron is under the experience of this magnetic force. So we have applied magnetic field and electrons were moving in this direction. So the electrons under the influence of external magnetic field will be deflected in the downward direction. So this is one force which is acting on the electron. But as you can see that with time, electric field sets up across the two surfaces of the strips. So these electrons, they will be experiencing an additional force, and that force will be due to this Hall electric field. So if an electron, if it is getting deflected in the downward direction due to the magnetic force, so you can see that we have positive charges on the upper surface of the strip and negative charges on the lower surface of the strip. So these electrons will be under the influence of additional force also, and that force will be due to this Hall electric field. So these electrons will be attracted towards the positive charge. So these electrons, they will be trying to move in the upward direction due to the Hall electric field. So when you just apply the magnetic field and electrons are getting accumulated on the lower surface, the magnetic force is greater as compared to the force due to the Hall electric field, or due to the charges which are getting accumulated on the two surfaces. But with time, the electric field which is set up across the two surfaces, this electric field increases with time due to more accumulation of the charges, and due to this increase in electric field, the force which is acting on this electron due to this electric field will also increase. So these electrons, they are pushed in the upward direction due to the force acting on these electrons due to this electric field. Plus these electrons, they are pushed in the downward direction due to the magnetic force. So there are two forces which are acting. So when you just apply the magnetic field, the magnetic force is greater as compared to the force due to this electric field which is set up. But with time, the electrons are getting accumulated and electric field is increasing. So electric force will also increase with time. And one point will reach when the electric force will just cancel the effect of the magnetic force. And due to that, no accumulation of charges will be there further. And electrons, the net force on these electrons will be zero. So they will not be deflected in the downward direction and they will not be pushed in the upward direction. So net force on these electrons will become zero and hence accumulation of the charges will stop on the two surfaces. And hence the electric field achieves its maximum value. So the accumulation of the electrons on the lower surface will stop when the electric force due to the Hall field. So the Hall electric field is also called as Hall field, which is developed between the two surfaces of the conductor. So this electric force due to Hall field cancels the effect of magnetic force, and in that case accumulation of electrons on the lower surface will stop. So the electric force which is acting due to the Hall field is given by, so the electric force is given by charge times the electric field. So the charge is minus E. The charge on the electron is minus E, and the Hall field or the Hall electric field, which is represented by EH vector. So this can be written as magnitude times its direction. And as we have said that electric field, this Hall electric field points in the downward direction because the upper surface of the strip is positively charged and lower surface of the strip is negatively charged. So the Hall field will be pointing in the downward direction, means along negative y-axis. So Hall electric field vector can be written as magnitude times its direction, and direction will be minus j cap. So electric force due to the Hall field will be charge times the electric field. So charge is minus E and electric field is minus EH j cap. So minus will cancel with this negative sign and it will become positive, and EH j cap. So this is the force acting on the electron due to the Hall electric field. And you can see that this force is along j cap. So this Hall field will try to push the electrons in the upward direction. So the force is acting along the plus y-axis. And the magnetic force we have already calculated. Magnetic force acting on the electron is given by minus EV B j cap. So this force is acting in the downward direction. So one point will come when these two forces will cancel each other. So the equation will become, so their magnitude will be equal to 0, or you can say that their vector sum will become 0. So Fe vector plus Fm vector will be equal to 0. So vector sum of these two forces will become 0 at one point. So what is electric force? It is given by E times EH j cap. Then magnetic force is given by minus EVB j cap, and that will be equal to 0. So you can calculate further. So you will get E into EH is equal to E into V into B. So from here you will get the equation of the magnitude of the Hall field. So that will be equal to V times B. So this equation shows us that the Hall field is proportional to the applied magnetic field. So more is the external magnetic field, more will be the value of the Hall field. So we have seen that when you apply magnetic field to a current carrying conductor, Hall field is developed across the two surfaces of the conductor, and this effect is called as Hall effect. So if you have a metallic plate carrying current, So if a metallic plate carrying current is placed in magnetic field at right angle, so we have seen that magnetic field was applied along the plus z axis and current was flowing along the plus x axis. So if a metallic plate carrying current is placed in magnetic field at right angle to the direction of the current, an electric field is set up in a direction perpendicular to both current and magnetic field. So we have seen that in this case, the electric field, the whole electric field is set up along minus j cap, means along minus y axis. So magnetic field is applied along plus z axis, current is flowing along plus x axis, and the whole electric field which sets up is set up along negative y axis. So the whole electric field is set up in a direction perpendicular to both current as well as the magnetic field, and this phenomenon is called as Hall effect. So in this case we also talk about Hall voltage. So in a conductor we have seen that if it is placed in magnetic field and current is flowing through the conductor, Hall electric field sets up between the two surfaces of the strip. So if there is electric field, means there is a voltage difference, and that voltage difference corresponding to this Hall electric field is called as Hall voltage. So we already know voltage is given by electric field times the distance between the two electrodes. So in this case we have this positive surface and this negative surface. So let's say D is the distance between the bottom and the top surfaces of this strip. So D is the distance and EH is the magnitude of the Hall electric field which is set up between these two surfaces. So what will be the voltage difference? So that voltage difference will be given by electric field times the distance between the two surfaces. So that voltage is called as Hall voltage. So V is the Hall voltage and it will be equal to electric field times the distance between the two surfaces. So EH we have already calculated is equal to V times B. So it will be equal to V times B times D. So here V, this is the capital V and it represents Hall voltage, and this small v, this is the speed of this is the drift speed of the charge carriers. So this equation shows us that the Hall voltage depends upon magnetic field applied to the conductor, then speed of the current carriers, and also the dimensions of the strip. And after this we are going to discuss about Hall coefficient. So we know that current density in a conductor, current density represented by J. So this current density is given by N into Q into Vd. So this we have already seen in the previous lectures, that current density in a conductor is given by NQ into Vd, where N is the number of charge carriers per unit volume, Q is the amount of charge on a single charge carrier, Vd is the drift velocity. So in this case the drift velocity is represented by small v instead of Vd. So instead of this Vd we will just write small v. Then instead of this Q we will write minus E, because in this conductor the electrons are the charge carriers and charge on the electron is given by minus E. So the current density J due to the electrons in the conductor will be given by minus E. So instead of Q we will write minus E, then N as it is, and instead of Vd we will write small v. So this is the current density J due to the electrons in the conductor. So we already have the equation of EH which is given by V into B. So the drift speed into the magnitude of the magnetic field. Now we will divide this equation of J by this equation of EH. So what you will get? So you will get J divided by EH, and that will be equal to minus NeV divided by V into B. So this will cancel with this one and you will have, so you will get EH divided by J. So EH divided by J will become equal to minus B divided by NE. So let's write it in the form EH divided by JB. So EH divided by JB will be equal to minus 1 divided by NE. So this is a very important formula, and this ratio of Hall electric field. So this is Hall electric field. This is the current density which is present inside the conductor, because as we have said that current is flowing through the conductor and there will be corresponding current density. And B is the magnetic field applied to the conductor. So the ratio of Hall electric field to the product of electric current density and the magnetic field applied to the conductor, this ratio is called as Hall coefficient. And this is represented by RH. So Hall coefficient for a particular material is represented by RH, and it is the ratio of the Hall electric field which is produced in the conductor, for which J is the current density flowing and B is the magnetic field applied to that conductor. So this ratio gives us Hall coefficient, and it is given by minus 1 divided by NE for the case of a conductor. So RH for the case of a conductor comes out to be minus 1 divided by NE. So Hall coefficient, you can see, is negative for the case of a conductor, and that means that the charge carriers in a conductor are negatively charged. So this Hall coefficient gives us various types of information. First is that it gives us amount of the charges which are present in unit volume, means it gives us information about number density of the charge carriers. Then it also tells us about the type of charge carriers. So if RH comes out to be negative, means the charge carriers in that material are negatively charged. And if the value of Hall coefficient comes out to be positive, that means the charge carriers in that material are positively charged. So the Hall coefficient, it helps us to determine the sign of the current carriers, and it also gives us information about the number density of the current carriers.